And the bad news is Shadowboxer and homeless Millar Micky have split up, and JDP has made a scathing, vicious, aggressive call out for the Shadowboxer on Bad to the Bone 6th of December in Stoke-on-Trent. Now, both of these situations are something that we have seen before, but we're being led to believe that they're both actually legitimate this time. Okay, so we've seen JDP call out Shadowboxer for fights before, and Shadowboxer call out JDP for fights before, and nothing to materialise. And we've also seen Homeless Micky and Jimmy Justice and Shadowboxer all split up before, and it wasn't real, but this time it is. But apparently, when in the past, when Homeless Micky and Shadowboxer have split up, it was actually genuine, but they then just made up. But maybe they won't make up this time. So it's all got very messy in the house of the Shadowboxer and Homeless Micky, with a load of accusations being thrown at each other. Now, I don't know what's true and what isn't, and we've heard both arguments from both sides, which is for you to decide who you think is or isn't telling the truth. But the Homeless Micky's side of the story is that Shadowboxer is an absolute arsehole. He just basically bullied him the whole time he was there, threatened to call the police on him, stole his phone, and just basically abused him and treated him as like a slave and spoke to him like shit. And then during the week of Shadowboxer's fight, after the fight, I think it was, they went out. Paul was, Shadowboxer was chatting to a lady, getting a bit chummy with a lady, and Homeless Micky said something to her that he was going to fuck her brains out or something. Very inappropriate, but might I add, very inappropriate thing to say to a lady, especially one that your mate's chatting to, but it's not the type of thing that you open with when you meet someone in a bar, or not the type of thing that I would open with if I met someone in a bar if I wasn't married. But maybe I'm a little bit, maybe I know a little bit better way to talk to women than Homeless Micky and Shadow do, but who knows anyway. That's so, and then Paul apparently has accused Micky of attacking the woman, grabbing her by the throat or something, and punched Micky in the face as the security got there. Then they're arguing outside. The woman's denied it and given Micky a cigarette. Then Micky's got his phone stolen and scarpered off. And if you listen to Shadowboxer's version of events, Micky's a fucking mentally ill maniac who's dangerous, who's trying to destroy his life for no reason, who is aggressive, always starting arguments, is a freeloader, and he brings nothing to the table, and he's just a fucking horrible arsehole. Backed up at some points by Jimmy Millar, who Homeless Micky is saying that Jimmy's lying and he's just hiding him in shadow, and everyone's out to get him. Which is one of the things that Shadowboxer actually said about Homeless Micky, is that he thinks that everyone's out to get him, and also that Micky did actually grab this woman. Now I don't know if he said he grabbed her by the throat or grabbed her by the arm, or so grabbed her in some angry sort of aggressive manner, and Shadowboxer punched him for it basically. And so it's a very messy, very turbulent time, but we've just got to wait for the CCTV to come back, because apparently both men have requested for the CCTV from the bar to see if Micky did actually grab the woman. And actually they got arrested a few days before, which was a fight with a woman, which was another woman attacking Micky. That was Micky trying to fight some blokes, and a lot of these stories revolve back and resort back to Micky being angry and aggressive. No, I don't know any of them. I don't know. Well, I do. I know Jimmy and Shadow. I don't know Micky. I'm not going to come on here and cast any aspersions at who I think is or isn't right, or even lead anyone to view anyone in a certain way. It's not my point on any of this, because I do really like Jimmy, and Mickey's his brother, so I don't want to be throwing shade at him or whatever, but it's just such a fucking horrible, messy situation. And I'm sure there's both in the relationship that Shadow and Mickey have had that's been very turbulent, because I've had messages of Paul saying, "Oh mate, I'm not speaking to Mickey again. He's a fucking lunatic, this and that." And then shortly after they'll be mates again. Like serious messages and of Shadow saying that, and it's just like, well, I wouldn't want to be mates with someone who I was clashing with like this all the time. But hey ho. So them two, it's a fucking mad situation. This Mickey has offered Shadow Boxer to fight. He says Shadow Boxer's got no heart. He can't scrap. The thing is, Mickey is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's like a serious. Like, I know we see him getting like thrown on the floor by the police when he was pissed up, but come on, you see Dylan Dennis get choked out by a chocolatier. He was world champion about 3 times. It's like when you're out in the piss, things happen. But we've seen him like judo throwing a security guard in that video in the shop, and the fight with Bash was obviously fake, wasn't it? Let's have it right. It was brilliant, hilarious, and listen, Mickey is comedy gold. Shadow and Mickey together, comedy gold. Jimmy's a character as well. I like Jimmy a lot. He's a good mate of mine, to be fair. But yeah, there's all 3 of them in this weird triangle and they're all as bad. Well, I don't think Jimmy's as bad as the other 2, to be fair, but them 2 are as bad as each other. On to Banter JDP versus the Shadow Boxer. Bad to the bone, 6th of December. Now, I don't know if Stefan is in any way aware of this, but Shadow Boxer has told me that he is fighting on Bad to the Bone on the 6th of December, and he's looking for an opponent. And then Big Jake, JDP, has popped up and said, I will fight him. He's made a pretty respectful call out, really, in the grand scheme of things, considering some of the stuff he's said about Shadow over the years. And he has basically said, after watching Shadow's fight at the weekend, he thinks he'll deal with Shadow easily. He thinks it will be... He said it on a few occasions since then. He said he literally beat the shit out of him. And the thing is with JDP, he's obviously, he says on numerous times he's never trained. He's absolutely in no way a fighter. Never been a fighter in the ring or anything like that. And I think that, bearing in mind, Shadows, he's had the 2 pressure fights, but they were just like little scraps. But they were filmed and stuff, and you know that they're coming. So he understands the pressure, and after fighting in the ring once, he's never ever gonna, if he does come to fight again, he will never let that happen again, because he will. I know that he's a comedy character, and I know that he plays the fool, and everyone thinks he's always got something up his sleeve, and he does everything for retention. But for that, he'll watch that back himself now, and he'll think, why the fuck did I do that? Because he made the video like saying that he regrets doing it and stuff, and that's 100% true. I can guarantee that he does. Because even when you win fights, you look back and you think, why did I do that? Why didn't I do that? Well, I should have finished that quicker. I could have done this. I could have done that. So fights when you lose, it's even more so. You always look back and think, you reevaluate them. And you think a few days after, a week after, and especially when people are commenting on it to you, even on a smaller scale, when no one's seen it online, and your mates are saying stuff back to you, your coach is saying stuff back to you, you watch the footage back yourself and you think, why did I do that? I should have done this. And then to see himself just walking off, throwing his gumshoe out, and to get in the comments back and stuff like that, he's going to be thinking, why the fuck did I do that? So he'll never let that happen again. He will go in fit next time, I'm sure, or fitter anyway, fit enough to do 3 rounds. But I don't think Jake is fully... So my point was, he is aware of what it takes then to get to that point and be in that situation. And I don't think that JDP is in any way aware of how hard it actually is. And if he thinks that he is all of a sudden off the couch, overweight, no offence, he says it himself. I like JDP, so I'm not digging him out, but overweight. Maybe he's a tough guy in the street, maybe he's not. I don't know. He says he's been to jail, so he's obviously and lived on the street and stuff. So I'm sure he's been in physical altercations, but it doesn't in any. It might prepare you for just throwing a one punch or throwing a little 1-2, or but it doesn't prepare you for having a fight in a ring. But it might give you some sort of a little back in to have a 10-second, 20-second little bare knuckle dust up, but it doesn't prepare you for a 6-minute fight. And the amount of money JDP Shadow brought out a video saying Gintram Chardin 25k 15k for the winner, 10k for the loser. But there's no. I'd be very, 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 very surprised if them two get paid that. Let alone if fucking JDP. He's never get. What is he? Why does he think that he is going to get the same money that Ginge gets? Ginge would not have even got that on the BKFC. Well, he sold a lot of tickets, to be fair, so he might have done really well out of ticket sales. But there's no chance in hell that he got 15 grand for that fight. I'd be very, very surprised if he did. Shadow Boxer and him are not getting 25 grand each. I can't see it. And why JDP thinks that he would command the same amount of money as Ginge, who's got a much bigger fan base, sells many, 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 many more tickets, and is pretty much really and truly a much bigger name, and has had 20 fights, and has a BKFC win underneath him. That JDP off the couch after the 6th of December, 9 weeks training is just worth that amount of money. He's not, is he? Like, and in the first place he said he wanted 5 grand, and then he said he's gone back to Shadow Boxer and he said he wants 2 grand and a cut of the pay-per-view and ticket sales. You don't get a cut of the pay-per-view on these small shows, because Stefan might himself look bad to the bone. They might only sell 100 pay-per-views. I don't know. With big names on there, maybe they'll sell a few more because it's Shadow and JDP. But if they've only sold 200 pay-per-views, the show's got to pay for itself. Stefan's got to pay the staff. He's got to pay the wages of the fighters. He's got to pay the venue. He's got to pay this, that, the other. The pay-per-view link, the people who set it up are going to take a commission. People are going to be streaming it. It's like, you're not dealing with BKFC. And Stefan's got a fantastic promotion. Brilliant. Probably number 2 in the country these days, really. For Bare Knuckle. BKB is big in America, but it doesn't get the same light over here, and Stefan's shows are massive now and he's got big names on there and everything. But a show headlined by a fucking JDP and the Shadow Boxer is not going to be selling thousands and thousands of pay-per-view, is it? He's not got the zone propping him up. So I think JDP's a bit delusional in what he thinks. Maybe 2 grand in cash and the tickets. He's obviously going to get ticket money as well. So maybe he might do well out of the tickets. You know, it's Stokes on his doorstep, innit, I believe. So, but 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, I don't think so. Pay-per-view sales, I don't think so. Anyways, boys, and so where was we? I don't know if Stefan even knows about this fight. I don't know if Shadow and JDP are just discussing it between themselves. I think they started arguing over messages, were screaming and shouting at each other by the sound of things. And if they came to fight, I just think JDP is just completely oblivious to what it will actually take. And I think on his first sparring session against someone who's not probably pretty green or like a pretty fresh boxer, he'll be in there with another heavyweight, and he feels the shot, he'll go, oh wow. Or feels a shot after like a minute and a half, he'll go, oh geez, what have I done? And there's no backing out. If it does get arranged though, if it does get agreed and they can get it sorted, and we see a announcement picture from Bad to the Bone, neither of them are going to back out. There's been too much said about it. JDP needs, like he said, he's just lost his job, unfortunately. He needs the dough. Christmas, a nice little bonus of like a few grand will be good. Even if he does get 2 grand and ticket money, it's decent. And it'll be good for his YouTube revenue stream. It will attract a load of new people to watch it. And Shadow, obviously, we've seen he turns up. And after the last time, he's just going to want to keep churning them out now because he realises that he can earn decent dough off them, and probably grows his platform a bit. And he also will want to right the wrong of what happened at the end of the last fight. So anyways, boys, let me know what you think down below. Is it going to happen, this fight? What's going on with Shadow Boxer and Homeless Micky? What's your opinions? Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Adios. La bosh.